right one that I named. Do you see it coming up?
Let me check. Go to.
Oh, I see it live, and I got a notification. Yeah, we're live.
All
Just need
right.
to pull up my.
Oh, I'm just seeing the fucking 1 minute video. Oh, I shouldn't be cursing live. I'm just seeing the 1 minute video.
Yeah, we're live. Just need
All
to
right, now I got the live notification.
I pizzy. The crazy part is it's taking me to the old
Okay.
video of the one few seconds. Now we're live. Okay.
Okay. I see it live. I hear everything.
Do you hear yourself?
I definitely hear my damn self.
All right, that's all that's important. I'll wait for this thing to fix itself so I can basically check audio performance and all that jazz. Are you too loud? Hey guys, tell me, is he too loud? Let me know.
I'm definitely really loud in comparison to you.
All right, I'll turn you down right now and say something now.
You gotta turn me down.
Hey man, it's life. Sometimes you just
Your mic has been quiet. I noticed when I was watching you on like AG podcasts and the live stream you did earlier this week, which isn't showing up on the channel for some reason.
um, is there a live chat box that I can see? Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like YouTube is just something else, man. Because it says we're live. Let me.
Yeah, we are live.
Awesome, baby. Good job.
I see it. You want me to link you?
Hold up. I'm just typing the final dash right quick.
Bro, this Windows update been screwing up my mouse clicks.
Windows just been screwing everything up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we're live, and I hear you, and I hear myself. I am loud enough for
If you
everybody.
say so.
All right. I got to turn this down. All right. So I hear myself. All right. So Nintendo Switch is in trouble, as you can see here on the screen. So what you see here is Razor shows handheld that looks like a Nintendo Switch. Here's the big. Oh, first off, weekly roundup. I'm jumping in here because I'm hungry to talk about all of this. So as usual, you got your two people here. You got your host, and then you got the co-host, Takun, and I am DC 1903. Literally just walk in, had to deal with the children. Um, I gotta say, man, I feel like hey, excuse me, young lady. All right, awesome. I feel like kids are like living vampires. There's never a dad can come home and just chill, just walk in like shoes off, relax. No, 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 no. That doesn't happen. Anyhow, Takun, introduce yourself. Tell the good people who you are and where to find. Well, obviously, where to find you other than here.
Yeah, Takun, Nintendo fanboy for the past, oh gosh, how old am I? 28, about to be 29 years. But you can find my channel, Takun Hiwatari. Hopefully, it's in the description. And I'm going to be here quite a bit on this channel. So
Yeah.
you don't got to go jumping around other places. You can just stay here. You'll see me. I've been here for a little bit, trying to experiment with different styles of videos I've been posting up here.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So a lot. Well, the week has passed. Tokyo Game Show's going on. Not a lot of Nintendo news. Not a
Not
lot of
yet.
not yet. Whoops. Yeah. Not a lot of Nintendo news. Nothing really new popping off. Nothing really new being talked about. Nothing really announced. Other than Daemon X Machina came out today.
Yep.
And yeah, today came out today. I think this gonna be the first digital game I get, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. And my daughter is upstairs throwing a fit. She's the youngest. She's a temper tantrum. I'm surprised she's not a Scorpio.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So Nothing new on the Tokyo Game Show unless you are a PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy. That's where all the information and news is at. But according to my boy Takun that just sent me this news article, Razer patents show a handheld that looks like a Nintendo Switch. Now, I personally think it looks more of like a Vita successor because the Switch basically you removed unless you compare this to a Switch Lite. If
No, 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 no. Those are detachable controllers.
Oh, these are detachable?
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo can't patent these because Game Vice has been coming after Nintendo for some time now about detachable and reconnectable controllers. So anyone out there that's a big Nintendo fan thinking that Nintendo owns the patent to detachable controllers, unfortunately, that's not the case. And the Switch is literally a tablet connected to two controllers. Uh,
They might have a patent on the way they did it, with the rails and the logging system that they specifically made for the Switch. From what I've gathered on these controllers here on this Razer patent, is that it's going to be a magnetic attachment.
how strong?
So
That's kind of
yeah,
scary. Having magnetics next to a circuit board. I'm pretty sure they're not going to let something out there that where the circuit board messes with the actual device once the
I
controllers
mean,
are
that'd
connected.
be really dumb.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way they're doing it, I mean, it definitely has a lot of similarities to Joy Cons, but I think yeah, to get around the way Nintendo Switch does it, they have to do it a little bit differently. But this is a thing. Again, since it's just a patent, we don't know if it's going to be fully implemented. But this isn't the first time Razer has tried something like this. 2013, they had this. Yeah, that kind of like what you have up on screen right there. It was a monstrosity of a thing, but I think after seeing Nintendo's refined design, they decided to go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So from what and for all everybody that doesn't know who Razer is because you might be stuck in the world of Nintendo and you don't want to branch off to anything else. Razer is a company that makes hardcore PC and gaming devices. They make some of the best gaming laptops out there. They make some of the best wireless controllers or accessories for PCs, including headphones, anything you can think of, and they make the best, so far, the best smartphone to date. The Razer Phone 2 is the most powerful cell phone out there. Has the highest refresh rate on display, liquid cool, well, vapor cooling stuff. Why are you crying?
Yeah, Razer Phone 2 is
Okay,
pretty
go ahead,
slick.
go
I
cry.
have one, my roommate has one, and it
I'm
is one hell of a phone.
Yeah, I'm getting the Razer 2 phone, and I am officially a proud owner of the iPhone, what is it? iPhone 11 Pro Max, and the wifey's getting the rose gold. I'm getting the what is it? Space gray. So to go along with that, I'm gonna get an Android phone. I cannot have an Android phone. Like I personally own an iPhone and an Android phone right now, so I have to get that phone. So, but to allude what we're going with is, and even Razer has done laptops that where they have a USB-C connector with a device that will basically give you the power of a graphics card to basically make your laptop connected to a desktop give you more power. So Razer doesn't play games when it comes to proficiency, efficiency, power, and giving you a lot under the sun. Like if you take the Riser or the Raiju PS4 controller, that thing looks like the Xbox controller and it's loaded with like features. Now, what I'm getting at with this is Razer really always partners with Nvidia. They don't unless they're doing a cell phone. That's the only time they mess with AMD. So I'm going to think. Let me look right here. Let me look on page. I'm not about to read through all of that. No, they don't have any. It doesn't say anything about Nvidia chipset. But I'm gonna basically bet my bottom dollar that this is gonna use an Nvidia chip. And if that's the case, And this is basically like their tablet form to go against the Nintendo Switch. Granted, it's not going to have any Nintendo Switch exclusives, but if this is their thing and they mix it with the PC world and it has any type of like, I don't know, as OS,
Yeah.
if it has any type of OS where it basically can mirror your PC games, this thing is going to have way more third party support than Nintendo is. And more than likely, it's going to have a more high caliber display. So,
Yeah, that would definitely be a thing. Even if you're not playing Android games on here, even if you're not emulating games on whatever this device ends up being, just remoting into your PC with something like this
hmm
would be a good sell for sure.
yeah. So all the third party that Nintendo is trying to scoop up because of like crazy amount of sales, this thing I can almost guarantee you is gonna have vapor cooling. It's not gonna warp. It's gonna have, I don't know, like a 1440 display. And remember, if this is something new, this may be the Switch Pro that everybody was looking for, rocking a Tegra 2 overclock or a new Tegra 3 like chip in there. And if it is AMD, which I don't think it is because it's showing the division, on an Nvidia, I mean on a what is it like an AMD like I forget the name that they use, and whatever AMD calls their mobile phone chips. I'm drawing a blank here. If it's anything like that, it's gonna carry more graphical power than the Switch. So it's gonna be more capable. Again, not gonna have Nintendo exclusives, but the third parties that everybody's looking for and the developers that's looking into the Switch for third party games and they see this can work two ways for Nintendo. And hear me out, and you're probably gonna be like, oh, that's perfect. If for any reason this comes out and it's a success and they have developers working on games that's going to be cropped down for handheld, there's not going to be any reason for these guys not to throw that game over on the Switch because they're already developing for this.
That could work out. So, I mean, it's going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a success or it's going to flop. And if it, flops, then everyone just sticks their Switch. But if this thing is a success, it's going to do a lot more than just affect Nintendo, right? You're going to, if this takes off, I guarantee you Sony and Microsoft will do something to jump in on this market.
Mm-hmm. I
And the problem is with something like this, of course, specs wise, we know it's going to be, a huge jump up from the Switch. I mean, just the Razer Phone 2 is technically packing more
eight
horsepower in it than a Switch.
isn't it rocking 12 gigs of RAM? Yeah,
Is it
yeah. The
12?
Razer Phone 2 is rocking 12 gigs of RAM.
Ridiculous.
And even if they wanted to go cheap, they do an LCD, and the LCD does 1440p. I can guarantee you they're gonna try to be like their phones and do something higher than 60 frames, or
Oh, 120 hertz. Yeah, and
yep,
it's
or
so
90.
smooth.
Yep,
That the
and it's
Razer Phone 2
cheap to
is
do on an
so
LCD
smooth.
display.
Yeah, so this could be a thing. Like I already know, even though there's nothing here in this article I sent you about specs wise, I know this thing is going to be a beast. The controller patent, it looks good. I mean, it's very similar to Joy-Con controllers. Obviously, just with the analog stick switched with the buttons, which I don't mind that layout after playing the Wii U, and I thought the Wii U Pro controller was amazing. So something similar there, but the software, it's going to come down to software. Like you can have this amazing hardware. We know the Xbox One X is the most powerful console you can buy right now, but when you look at okay, what games am I playing on an Xbox compared to a PlayStation 4 or a Switch? It's it's really lackluster by comparison. So that's going to be the make or break of this. And I mean, with any console, especially a new one. So if they can convince developers to get on board and make games for this thing, that could definitely be a threat, a challenge for the Switch. But that's kind of like a big stretch to ask people to develop for that, or especially ask them to exclusively develop for whatever this thing's going to end up being.
Yeah. And one of the things that kind of like makes me wonder why Razer's doing this, but also to kind of show that they're already in the waters, the Razer Phone 2, not just the Razer Phone 2, but all of the unnecessary accessories that they make for it. Are those accessories going to be capable with this? But then again, some of the accessories basically clamp into the phone. But that's not to say that they won't make their accessories for this, baby. Take that upstairs, baby. Go play
I mean, they'll
upstairs.
definitely make accessories for this thing. I mean, that's kind of like Razer's thing. I think that's like their main thing is the accessories that they have. Hardware wise, I don't think there's like a huge amount of people purchasing their stuff. But when it comes to like keyboards, especially mice, Razer mice, I think are probably their number one selling product.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly stuff like that and their headsets and uh, I think the phone's really good. I don't think too many people bought it though because it kind of dropped in price pretty quick. Like I got mine when it was 500, and I think it went on sale at some point after I bought mine, and it was 400, which is a steal for what you're getting specs wise out of a phone.
That is true, but it also makes me wonder if you're gonna come out with a cell phone targeting gamers, coming out with something like this, wouldn't it make you wouldn't it confuse gamers, or is this gonna be strictly just a gaming thing that doesn't have a cellular chip in it to make phone calls?
I don't think the patent is for the device itself, but more for the controller attachments.
I guess maybe, but
I mean,
makes
yeah,
it makes you wonder though. You might cause confusion with your fan base.
you could. I think in my mind, how I see this playing out is they announce kind of like this as a Razer Phone 3, the Joy-Con attachment things sold separately. And that would be probably the smart way to do it, in my opinion. Wait for, was it CES next year?
Hmm.
And then
Oh
reveal
yeah,
this thing officially.
they're gonna use the CES show floor because they can't use like what is it like E3 or anything like that. Razer doesn't have like a large showing or like a show floor or a presentation or a booth for that. So they would have to go somewhere where they can do something like that.
Yep, most definitely. And I think if they play their cards right, this could be good. This could be good for them. And then if it becomes a competition, if it becomes direct competition for Nintendo Switch, Nintendo's going to do something to step their game up. And hopefully that something is improve their online and add the stuff we've been asking for the past 2 years. So
And
I kind of want to see this thing take off.
if Razer sticks it to them, you know what the first thing they're gonna do is, right? They're gonna
Release a real virtual console.
no, not only that, but they're gonna allow you to use, oh my god, they're gonna allow you to use background apps like Discord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I,
See, gosh, like I don't want to see this thing flop. I want to see it do something so it kind of gives Nintendo a little scare, and then Nintendo will start coming back with
mm-hmm,
the that underdog momentum. Like the Wii U, we look at it and we laugh at it. It didn't sell that much. It was a failure. Nintendo's worst selling home console. All
mm-hmm.
that. But if we look at the features that thing had, the sheer amount of games in the virtual console, it is leaps and bounds ahead of anything the Switch has in the foreseeable future.
You're right. Wait, hold on, I'm sending out a tweet.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah, I want to. While you're
you're right.
tweeting, I'll just say that.
I want it to be successful too because one of the things with Nintendo is exactly what you're saying. I feel like these guys are like not scared of what could
They
happen.
have no reason to be. I mean, going into kind of dipping into one of our other topics here is that the Switch is the best-selling hardware platform of August, and I'm pretty sure it's consistently been that way for a good majority of this year.
Hmm.
I mean, because PS4, Xbox One, they've been out for a while now. Like anyone that was interested. You probably have one at this point. So the Switch at the moment, until the PS5 and the next Xbox drops, is pretty uncontested as far as like hardware sales. Their software has been doing numbers. Like Astral Chain has been doing really good, especially for a new IP. And yeah, I just don't think Nintendo's got that fear in them. So they have no reason to be cranking out all this extra stuff when they're already making bank.
You think Razer would kind of treat this like a gaming system and leave you with like a controlled user interface, or will they treat it like a mini like you remember when Nvidia came out with the Nvidia Shield and it acted like
Yeah.
a desktop in a way, and you can run multiple applications and stream to it? Like, I wonder if they're going to treat it like that, because if they treat it like that, the possibilities, not only the possibilities, here's the major gripes. Some of you guys may think that we're Switch haters, but I'm just going to be a real Nintendo fan for a minute, right? Being a real Nintendo fan for a minute, what's our biggest problem? No Bluetooth. I can't set a pair of wireless Bluetooth to my headphones. You're going to say, wait a minute, yes you can. You got to go buy a Genji
An
adapter.
adapter. Yeah.
Okay, all right, can I dock that adapter? And is it,
There is a docked version of it,
you see
but
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? I gotta go look for specific things, man. Dude, it's annoying, and I think that Nintendo needs to see, like, this is gonna come out with Bluetooth 5.0. It's gonna allow me to go up to 100 feet away. I'm probably gonna be able to get better audio representation, because what's the biggest problem with Nintendo Switch games? Nintendo Switch games do not give you the best audio representation of games. Like, for instance, The Witcher 3, one of the biggest things they had to do with The Witcher 3 for the Switch was compress the audio. So you're not getting full audio performance. Like, for instance, a really great game that's selling amazing right now is Astral Chain. But if you're a person like me that has an audio system, you're only getting, I have a 7.1.4 system with a Marantz receiver. I cannot use any of my other speakers because Astro Train only gives you two channel, no center channel. You can get you get sub, but it's just two channel. It's just standard stereo. Like, that's, the game looks too awesome to sound that shitty on a home audio system.
I don't have Astral Chain, so I don't know about those struggles. But
But there are a lot
yeah,
of
I
games
mean,
that's
the
like that.
Switch, it has all this good stuff going for it. Like as far as the overall design and concept of the Switch, it is phenomenal. But there's areas that are lacking. I mean, Cloud's covering the audio part, and there's other aspects too. Uh, Maybe not specifically with the hardware, but like what I've been talking about earlier with the lack of like the online features and the fact that the virtual console just disappeared into thin air, and now
Hmm.
Nintendo's slowly trickling out games again instead of just having that whole Wii U virtual console library. Should have been available day one, no questions asked. It was all right there. It had already been reworked for an HD system. Why was it missing? So
That's, yeah.
yeah, there's just like a lot of head scratching decisions with the Switch, and because it's doing so well, like we said, Nintendo just has no motivation to really get up and give us all these extra features. Their focus is on the
You want to know how
like
much
the games they're
Nintendo
working on.
doesn't fare anyone because of their success in sales? You want to know how much? We just had, this is a this is a major topic. We just got update 2.0. I'm just going to talk about one part of it and show you how they don't care. They just added friend invite in that update. Bro, that is a feature that we've had with the Wii. That is a feature we've had with the 3DS. That is a feature we've had in the Vita. Vita has private chat rooms. It's a mirror of the PlayStation, but Nintendo's like, we got the games, we got the third party, people are buying it. So what do we need to do? You know what I'm saying? Like,
9.0 and we're just getting friend invites. Like, yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
yeah. But
What else was in 9.0?
let's finish off with the Razor thing is before we go to 9.0. It's it's laughable that I'm excited for this and hoping that it's not a failure, because I want Nintendo to be scared and do something about it. Bro, the other day when we were playing Nintendo, what was it? The Nintendo, Super Nintendo Online Entertainment Switch, whatever, that full freaking name. I got a notification on my phone saying, "Hey, you can invite someone to the chat room on your cell phone." Bro, every time I see that, I get pissed off.
There's not even chat rooms on the Switch. Like
I'm talking
their
about the
their
app.
online infrastructure has like so much more, like so much further to go. Yeah, and gosh, you know what would be a real slap in the face? We should do it. We should get this thing, this Razer thing right here, and we should use our Nintendo app on that to talk online.
Yeah, just as disrespect. You know,
Oh man.
and if they treat this like if they treat this like a PC, I hope to God it runs a Nintendo Switch emulator. I'm still gonna own and buy my games and support Nintendo,
Ah man, why
but
would you say all
I'm
that?
gonna be disrespectful because, bro, everyone's waiting for a Switch Pro, right? I don't know what Nintendo's planning to do next year. I hope to God they release a brand new system, not a brand new system, a Switch Pro, because everything is x86 now. Even this system right here, even the SoC, the way that the games are developed for this. So Nintendo has all of the recipe and all the ability to just release a brand new system. I mean, an upgraded system. They could do that
They could, they could.
because no one. We
For
don't need.
what Cloud was saying, don't go around emulating Switch games
No,
on
no.
this thing
Unless
if
you
it's
own the.
capable of doing
Unless.
it. No, no, no. Definitely do GameCube and below though, because
Yeah.
GameCube runs on the Razer phone too, and I get pretty good playable frame rate out of that.
Now, before
Just send a
anyone
message to
thinks
Nintendo. Just
any
tell them
any
like, hey, we want more Virtual Console games, and I'm playing them on this shit over here.
yeah, before anyone thinks I'm telling them to go pirate, every game that I own virtually on another system, I own physically. Every single one.
That's too much.
Yeah. You see my Switch collection. I need to slow down with the game purchases. So is this gonna be like a thing? What do you guys think? Are you guys gonna go pick this up if it comes out? And what's the price of it gonna be? Because the Nintendo Switch is gonna have that on its back. The Switch is $299. Holiday comes up if
Switch
Nintendo.
Lite is coming out at 199.
Exactly. So that's one thing that we didn't touch on. This has a price tag that's gonna protect it. The Razer is not a cheap company. If anybody knows Razer, they feel that, hey,
Not at all.
if you want my system, if you want anything I got, you got to pay that premium dollar.
Yep. The only exception was like their phones,
Hmm.
because I think when the Razer Phone 2 came out, it was 800, but for the price and the specs you were getting, that was actually a good deal. But
Yeah,
you know, if you look at any of their other products, ooh, it's going to cost you.
yeah. Like for instance, my wife's laptop. Her laptop was 1600, and it outspec
Yep.
the Razer by storage space because I got a terabyte, and
Hmm.
the Razer comparison was like 2600.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so Razer charges. So I don't know what this is gonna cost, and if it's if it's using any type of hardware where it's gonna cost more, like an Nvidia, a full blown like Nvidia chip, that may be a problem. But I still want it to be supported so that Nintendo can feel the stress, and I also want it to be supported so that anyone that's developing for a lower resolution device has the Switch in mind and makes it easier to be ported over to the Switch. So it helps me out in two ways by telling Nintendo, "Hey, get your shit together." And then it also helps Nintendo gets more third-party games on the Switch. Cuz if they're
Yeah,
developing for a Tegra, all it is just small optimization.
yeah. The thing with this, going back to the price point, it will guaranteed be more than a Switch. 100% guaranteed. But since this might be like a mobile device for Razer, they might price it pretty fairly for what you get. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. So, I mean, I hope this thing isn't like a freaking, $600-700 thing. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, it's definitely not gonna. truly step on Nintendo's toes when it comes to the gaming space. But like I said, and just a little bit of fear in them. I just want to see it, so they actually start doing stuff.
You already know that there are going to be people out there that's going to be like, ah, I don't care. Baron is one of them. Like, oh, look at this asinine thing. Like, it's not going to have that masterpiece that is known as Astral Chain. Um,
He will never let go of that game.
no, no, no. It's an amazing game. I gave it a 9.2, but it's not going to be game of the year. Moving on, I feel bad for this game. I am going to pick it up, but Ex Machina came out today and no one's talking about it. But there's a reason why no one's talking about it. The developers over at
Yeah,
Daemon X Machina are gonna copyright your gameplay. They're gonna give you a copyright strike. They don't want any of the game being shared. They want people to go out and get it. And Nintendo realized that it was a problem to basically try to keep everything to Nintendo because they don't produce enough videos and everyone wants to see their favorite gamer stream this thing or play this thing. All you see are reviews, and other than that, you don't see anything else.
yeah. So the only videos you see online right now of Daemon X Machina are just straight up reviews, and these are from like big names like IGN, Game Explain, and I think Nintendo Life went ahead and did a review.
Hmm.
And I spent about a good 30-40 minutes looking around YouTube, and those were really the only things I found. Like smaller channels, you definitely can't afford to really dedicate the time and effort to reviewing Daemon X Machina and see any return on it. Even just that gameplay I did of the demo that was like 10-12 minutes, it
You
it
got a
got
copyright strike.
demonetized as soon as it uploaded. I think it was like as it uploaded, it was
Hmm.
already claimed, and we don't really care right now. We're not making any money off of this channel, so no skin off my bones, right? But if we were at the level of some of these other people and we're depending on YouTube to make money, it would be a hard sell for us to do anything with Daemon X Machina because of that. It's Marvelous Japan that's going around and doing the copyright claims. I don't know if they're just stuck in old ways or what their reasoning is, but
Yeah.
anything Daemon X Machina auto claimed.
Hmm. And right now they need it because you ask us, you ask the gamers, you put out multiple demos, you ask us what we think needs to be fixed in the game. You listen, and now you're like, okay, I fixed everything. If you really want to find out about this game, go buy it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't give anybody the chance to show how awesome the game is and the benefits of getting it. You know what I'm saying? What changed? How was the multiplayer? And some of these review sites, they look at like mech games as like mech games are like, they're okay. They're not that awesome anymore. If you have
All
them
the
to,
scores are just okay scores.
yeah, if you are a big Armored Core fan, this is an amazing game. Not every game needs to be a freaking a crazy story against it. It doesn't. Not every game has to be a Last of Us or an Uncharted or a Gears of War. Some games can be mech-related games and be amazing, which is what this game gives you. Even like the multiplayer is awesome. The actual mechanics of the game's also pretty beautiful. Like the some of the bokeh
Hmm.
shots that they put in the game between you and your mech. There's a lot of mechanics to the game, but the guys over at is it Marvelous? They're not giving the true fans the ability to show off the games and say, hey, come support this.
And that's the thing. It's this game is coming out in such a crowded
Mm-hmm.
release time. Like if people are not talking about this right now, it's not going to be talked about. And those reviews I mentioned earlier, it seems like everyone that reviewed the game wasn't really a mech kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Just I think that's how I ended up with all these average scores. Is that you get people that aren't really fans of that genre in particular, and they're probably not even motivated to do anything because there's no money involved with reviewing the game.
But that
They
also
have
that
to be
all
doing it just for the sake of coverage.
yeah, one that's one of the things too that kind of like makes me a little upset about all of this because here's my thing. Like, you basically make this game, and then you're a YouTube creator, right? And you're telling me I'm not gonna post anything about this game because I'm not gonna make any money off of it. Kind of feels a little dishonest in some ways, if you ask me.
It kind of does, but at the same time, that's how the game works. I mean, not the game Damon X Machina. I'm just saying like the YouTube game. That's kind of how it works, and you can only dedicate so much time, so many resources into. It'd be a hobby to just play this game and talk about it, and
Mhm.
it's a shame because the best thing for a game like Damon X Machina is word of mouth. If
Mhm.
you see other people that are fans of mech games and this kind of third person shooter, uh, the best thing you could have is for people to be talking about it that like the genre, and then other people get in on it and be like, oh wow, I didn't even know this was out. A lot of people don't even know this is a thing,
Yeah,
and
and
then they
one
could
of the one
watch
of the
like
things that
gameplay and all that.
one of the things that this game is compared to, which showing this off would be awesome, is some developers, or I mean some reviewers compared this to a Monster Hunter type mech game when it comes to multiplayer and fighting these big monsters. And according to the developers, they're going to add more DLC and have more like crazy like huge mech monster fights at the end. And I'm like, "Bro, really? This is what people need to see. Big Monster Hunter type mech games? Come on." But you'll never see
See,
that.
I didn't even know about that, and I'm keeping up with the game. Like I'm following it. I'm watching like reviews and everything. I didn't know it was going to have post-launch DLC that added,
Hmm.
end game content.
And
So
again,
this game is doomed to fail right out the gate just because there's no hype. There's no one talking about it. You don't see anyone on YouTube playing it. It's got so few reviews from people that are giving it mediocre scores, and I think it's not so much because of the game itself, but because of their tastes in gaming.
yeah. Um, so that's Daemon X Machina in a shell. Hold on a minute. I want to see something. Hold up. Metacritic. I'll
Well,
pull.
the Metacritic's like in the 70s. Now I don't even have
Yeah.
to look.
I want people to see. I want if the developers or Game X Machina come through, I want them to see this. Hold up. And bring window back. Ooh, no sound.
And like while you're doing that, the weird thing is they sent out review copies,
Mm-hmm.
and there was someone. I wish I could find the tweet. I should have screenshot it for you. There was someone who was like, "Bro, do you even want us to review this game or?" Because their video immediately got demonetized.
Yeah. Even Digital Foundry was gonna do a video on it, and they don't do reviews. They actually go over
Oh,
like the
that would have
specs.
been such a good boost for the game,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they can, because they did a video on the this new one that came out like a week ago. But they pointed out a lot of the flaws, and if you see that, and then Digital Foundry never posts an update video on all the improvements, you're gonna go around thinking the game ran like crap. When I mean, it has problems here and there now, but it is so much better than the original demo that came out, months and months ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at some of the reviews here, and a lot of people are basically saying like, I can't review or play the game online. You got people giving it zero. And again, the way I've always felt, there's no game in existence that deserves a zero. Unless the game cannot be launched, no game should be a zero. At least a two, a one. But as you can see, the average review score a 5 out of 97 and then 36 critics. Let me see. What
Hmm.
what major critics gave this like a really good score? I have no idea who any of these are. And Nintendo enthusiasts, you got to take that with a grain of salt. There might be hardcore Nintendo fans. Multiplayer it.
Yeah.
IGN, Italy gives it an 80. Screen Rant, see, okay, these guys are people that I know. So there needs to be someone that talks to the PR team over there. This makes
Yeah.
absolutely no sense.
It's a shame. It's a damn shame. This game is already swept under the rug, to be honest. because it
Yeah.
came out the same day as Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week we got the Link's Awakening, and then later on we
S-
um,
We've
Dragon
got.
Quest.
Yup.
And that's just September. The games from the top of my head. There's more games, more September games I can't remember right now. And then October's gonna hit, and it's a mess. It's a mess. I feel like if they were going to go this route that they took with the game, they should have just delayed it to like January. They should have.
You know what this reminds me of?
What was
Titanfall
that?
2.
Oh yeah, the game that everyone that played it just like love is it, and they're just like, oh, the game deserves so much better,
Yeah,
but it
Respawn
just got
dropped it.
swept under
What?
the rug
Yeah.
because uh, hype built up towards it when it
Yeah.
came out, and then just came out at this terrible time. You're
This is
right.
a this is a
Yeah.
brand new IP that should have never coming out at this time. You've got people that want like a really really good racing game. We're gonna talk about Grid Autosport. I have to talk about it before we leave. You've got Devil May Cry coming out. You've got Nino Kuni. People that never had a Nintendo system and never got to play Nino Kuni in a better resolution because it only came out on PS3. It's coming on the Switch. You've got
Hmm.
Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. What else is on there? This is a flop. Contra Road Corps, trash. The demo's out now. You got
Okay, I saw you
FIFA.
playing demo. I was about to ask
You
if
got
it's trash. It's
FIFA
trash.
20. You've got and you. They're gonna be hardcore FIFA fans that buy this game for the Switch. That's why it keeps coming out. You've got Dragon Quest 11. You've got a bunch. Oh, there's other games that's not even shown
Yo,
right now
Ori and the
that's
Blind
coming out.
Forest is coming out in September too.
Mm-hmm. What's it called? Ulterior Rising. That's a new series. This is like their hardcore ambition that they're trying to come out with. That comes out on the 29th, even though it's not showing here. I got the physical copy coming. And then you've got a bunch of games coming out next month. So I don't think this game should have came out this time because it's literally in a time where no one is going to pick it up. Not only because of what's coming out around it, but because no one is actually no one knows anything about the game. Come on, you what Nintendo game you only see 97 user reviews? Today alone on a new day, because you know already people already got it in different parts of the countries. People lie or get like fake copies or whatever it is. There's no reason why the game didn't come out and already has like over 100 200 like user reviews. So that's a big mistake on their part. They could have done something.
It's gonna cost them, and it'd be amazing. It would be a miracle if this game got any sort of sequel or any support after their planned DLC.
Hmm. Next on there is what else is on the list? Hold up. Uh, oh yeah. Uh, so Grid Autosport gotta support the developers over at I think Fairlink. I think the name of the guys that it's not gonna tell me who makes it.
Hold up, before you continue, I
Oh,
just went through
Codemasters.
the top 30 on the eShop. It's not there at all.
No one
Astral
knows anything
Chain,
about it.
but not Astral Chain. Freaking Damon X Machina
Yeah. And Daemon X Machina was hyped. It was hyped. It was hyped.
was.
I'm still before we go over to I can't play. Obviously, the game's not out yet, so I can't play it. But nothing from Capcom yet. Capcom actually showed off a crappy Resident Evil game. I'm hearing rumors that it might come to the Switch. That's why they did it like that. But gotta support the guys over at Codemaster, and I think the company is called Fairlinks or Fair something that's doing the port. They're porting this game over to the Switch. And the reason why you got to give these guys hardcore support is because this is the first game, at least that I know of, on the Switch that gives you a priority of resolution or frame rate. And the game looks fantastic. And it's the full. Granted, the game is old. It's being ported over to the Switch, but the game looks and runs awesome, and it runs at 60 FPS. 60 FPS and looks solid. If you go over to, I think Contra, I'll post a link. There's a YouTube channel that basically does gaming. He doesn't do any like voiceovers. He just like does 15 minutes of like the first game play that comes out. And I'm gonna be playing the game the day it comes out. I'm gonna give it like a good 30-minute live stream with you guys. At first, I was all over this game, V Rally. 30 FPS. It looks really crappy. It's got all the features, gives you all of the choices, but this has so many different modes. It has online multiplayer. It has wrecking mode. It has destruct derby. It has what is it? Tuner cars. It has everything. Car customization. Formula One. It has so much content. It's like having your own version of Motorsports on your Switch, and it's the full game, $35. As you can see, I already have it preloaded. I can't wait to play it. This is going to be one of the best realistic racers to come out. So definitely go out and support. I've never seen a developer that gives you the choice of performance or resolution. And one of the crazy part is, in resolution, it was only dropping like 4 or 5 frames.
Yep. And they're, I don't know if you talked about this. I had to jump out of Discord real quick, but they're going to be adding a texture pack for the Switch version.
I didn't even know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the game already looks good. If you look at the channel that I'm gonna post in the comment section, the description, he shows the difference between graphics and performance mode, and the graphics mode already looks better than the performance mode. So if they're dropping a texture pack, oh man, that's dope. That's gonna
Yeah.
be dope.
It's going to look real good.
And last topic of weekly roundup, what came out as a joke and had people scratching their heads. Uh,
Yeah.
Fit Ring Adventures. But before we get into it, I want you to know the main villain in this game is a bodybuilding dragon.
Yeah, that was hilarious when they revealed that.
Yeah. I gotta commend Nintendo for this because the video has so much likes and there are so much people looking forward to this. And everybody knows that when it came to what is it, We Fit, it was super successful, super successful, and it's getting the same reaction that that the We Fit got. And so this basically what it is it's a giant ring you basically play with. Just sounds odd. Yeah, you get like a leg strap, and it's an RPG where you basically go into fight style. And, I'll just pull the video up on here and we'll show everything. Hold up, let me
Yeah,
bring.
it's hard to just explain it with words, but
I gotta
I
turn off the
think
sound.
this is getting a better reaction than We Fit because I mean We Fit trying to sell gamers just this balance board. Hey, here this is. Here's our game. Get in shape. That's a hard sell. But for something like this, that's an RPG, has a story, uh,
It
that
literally
that
almost has a
automatically
million
makes it
views.
more interesting, more compelling.
It has almost a million views, and according to the what you were saying, when the controller snaps into the ring, the ring isn't just a regular ring. It supports like flexibility, and it has like these things to pick up motion in it. So in a way, it's like adding to it. It's not just snapping into it to hold it. It's also another piece that has some sort of like mechanics in it. Um,
Yeah, there's something else in there. What impressed me, I don't know if we'll get to it in this video play that we're doing here, but there's a part where they hold their finger up to the infrared sensor on the Joy-Con and it senses their heart rate. So I'm thinking, you remember how Nintendo had that the sensor
patent.
attachment for the Wii they were planning?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this is basically that idea because they said they scrapped that idea, but they keep everything for stuffed away in case they wanted to use it in the future. And it looks like it made its way back here on a feature that was built into the freaking Joy Cons.
Yep, and as you can see here, the lady, she if she jumps or she pushes it down, it's like a jump. She's not actually physically jumping, and the way you move it, it's pretty. It's gonna get a lot of people to play. And one of the things that it's gonna do, it's gonna make people that are not gamers. play an RPG type element in a fitness way because they're doing over bent over rows, they're doing squats, they're holding the squat, they're returning, they're doing that to basically you do attack moves in a way to get you in shape, but it's also getting you like, hey, dude, this is what RPGs are like. I want to try something else. If anything, this game is not for the hardcore Nintendo gamers. It's for people that want to get into fitness and want to be a part of the family. This is gonna spike. The thing already has almost a million views, 35,000 likes, and 2,000 dislikes. Dude, this thing is gonna sell like hotcakes. Even if it sells that much, that's gonna be a success to Nintendo.
Yeah, for sure. This thing right here is it's interesting. It's bridging a lot of gaps, and if it does it right, it could be insanely big and way bigger than Wii Fit ever was, in my opinion. Just because you're
Dude,
not
it's building
doing
core muscle.
exercises and poses for the sake of doing it, but there's gameplay elements and it's fun. It's more interactive. It's more motivating to like do something like this and be immediately rewarded with
Hmm.
killing an enemy or like progressing a story.
Yep, I mean, the slower she runs, the more she was going up the stairs properly, the faster she's running. And one of the things about the Joy-Cons is it doesn't have some crappy gyroscopes inside of it. It has a really, really good gyroscope that's in it. So it's going to be something different. And again, like you said, it's gonna bridge gaps that Nintendo didn't get a chance to bridge. It's gonna have mini games. It's gonna have games that keep your whole family excited to want to try. It looks more of like a single player type of thing. A lot of people are gonna do it at home. But you know what? Let's say I want to get my mom into gaming. I would buy her a Switch in this. Look, Nintendo already got a sale and and a hardware sale just off of that alone. Because my mom was obsessed with the Wii Fit.
Yeah, this is that on the next level. What would really make every Nintendo gamer just like super buff dude, like super in shape, like ripped and shredded? If they had an online leaderboard for this, you know how many people would be fighting for the top spot?
Oh man, yeah, yeah.
That'd be hilarious. That's
What
you gotta
turned
do
in
it, Nintendo. If your goal is to get people in shape, you gotta add some competitiveness to this thing, man.
what turned into a joke? Nintendo just trolled us. When it turned into a joke where it made us kind of like laugh at Nintendo, turned into something that is actually gonna be a success. And you know what's pretty cool about this? They kept this completely separate from their direct. They wanted to show the gamers that the Nintendo Direct was hardcore. Oh, look, there goes the sensor thing. Wow, that's crazy. Let me go back to that. They showed the heart sensor thingy.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it,
Oh wow, this thing could pick up heart rate through the infrared.
bro? I said that.
No, no, no. I didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty
But what
dope.
Cloud was saying, I mean, yes, this heart rate thing is really cool, but it's very nice to know that the Nintendo Direct is for the gamers that keep up with like the Nintendo first party franchises and stuff. And they had this as a separate announcement because they know we don't want to see goofy stuff like this in a Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
It would change the vibes, it would kill the energy, all that stuff. So having announcements like this separate from their directs is very appreciated, and I hope they continue that going forward.
This also cancels the notion of there were a lot of YouTube videos going around where people were saying that they don't like the Nintendo Switch Lite because they feel that because of the Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo may not support Switch related games. Think of like when the 3DS was out and then the 2DS came out, we saw less implementation of 3D games. So there were a lot of videos going around from some of the big YouTubers and small YouTubers are saying if the light is a success, they're not really going to focus on games that have motion controls, use the heart rate sensor or whatever the infrared, things like that. We only saw things like that with like turning some games with motion controls. So this literally just shows that Nintendo is all in on supporting the main Switch as well as the light. So no one's gonna feel that because this is where you're gonna dock your light to use this. This is directly for the Switch that we have now.
I mean, technically, if you really, really wanted to play it on your light, you could. You'd have to get a stand. You'd have to get a separate pair of Joy Cons to connect them to these controllers. It'd be a
Hell
real
no.
hassle,
And
but you
that
could do it.
tiny screen from a distance. There you go. You got it.
I'm saying it'd be a real struggle, but you could. But you're right. Nintendo's not stopping support for the main OG Switch just because there's a light out.
Hmm.
And that's a very important message to send.
Yeah, that's a very important message to send because I've seen this. I've even seen Reddit pages where people were starting to get worried that if the light goes crazy, Nintendo's not going to focus on anything with Joy-Cons, detachable Joy-Cons type controllers, motion controls, and things like this. And this literally just says, no, that's not true. And but them seeing that there are fans that already like this based on the amount of video views, the amount of likes that it's getting, and the amount of like really good comments that it's getting, people are gonna really people Nintendo's gonna be like, okay, this was a success. Let's keep this going. Let's make some more mini games. And I hope they keep this separate from directs. And if they do add these in directs, make them be a part of a scissor reel at the end.
Yeah, for sure. Um, that'd be the best way to do it. I mean, the more I see the footage here in the gameplay, it looks fun, and this is good implementation of that exercise that they're always trying to get us to do with like Wii Fit and Pokemon Go and all that stuff, and but done in a way where someone would actually play it for more than 10 minutes.
Hmm. Yeah. Dude, ab exercises. Dude, this is gonna be sick. My wife
I'm
is
about to be
definitely gonna
shredded,
play
bro.
this. Yeah. Before we go, we didn't touch on a few things, real quick because I got the Switch up here. This is why I wanted to do this, and this is why we're completely different and more elevated than other channels. Shots being taken. Um,
Shots fired.
you basically go over to with the update. You have Switch online invites. You can invite your friends, and they'll display there based on the games that they're playing that you can invite them to or the game that you're playing. But to add to that, where is it at? Friend notifications. It was something about the display, where you can basically change the display to support a stylus. I don't know if it's gonna
Oh, the touch sensitivity.
yeah, touch
Yeah.
sensitivity. You could change this for a stylus. So I'm wondering if Nintendo's gonna try to come out with an art design type game, or a stylus for the Switch, where you can basically do your own art. Or maybe this Nintendo, and I'm saying this, and you guys are about to
Yeah.
see it, the 3DS, where it had what was the name of it?
It was like Flipnote
Yeah,
Studio, I believe.
what if Nintendo comes back with this and makes a stylus for the Switch, and that's how you're going to send messages as well as texting them?
Oh man, I wish. Remember Swapnote?
Hmm.
Those were fun times, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like a perfect messaging system. It was hilarious, though. It was
Yeah.
fun.
And along with the update came a controller update. I don't know what the controller update did, but I know I recently did an update before I did that update. Um,
Mhm.
I forget what the other reasons were, but the two major things were the stylus, then the actual friend invites, and then the controller updates.
There was like stability updates and like other minor things, but yeah, now that you mention it, updating it to have sensitivity for stylus, and then in the past, Nintendo's had art apps on even the DS. There was a DSi that had I forget the name of some of those apps, but some people made some pretty ridiculous art. And then there's a few like animation apps that they had on it as well. And then like I was saying with the Flipnote Studio, I think that's what it was called on
Yeah,
3DS.
it was Flipnote
Yeah,
Studio.
you get real creative works out of those. So if they bring it back, I'm all for it, even though I never really use it to create anything myself. Seeing what other people do is always fun.
Yeah. So I mean, update 9.0 is here. Go out and get it. Uh, it's it's Nintendo's new update for the Switch, and one of the things that came with that, like I said, is what is it? Stylus control. There isn't a stylus that's sold for the Switch, so it just makes you wonder, what are they planning to do with this? And then the update for the controllers is probably for Fit Ring. Did they give a date when the Fit Ring was coming out?
Yeah, that game is coming out sometime in October. Hold
Oh yeah,
on.
that's when
Hey
October
everyone.
18th.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, October 18th is when it's actually coming out. I want to look for
Bro,
something
people
here.
gonna be shredded by Christmas.
I wanna I wanna get like a full description of what the 9.0 update is.
Oh, I have it
So
in
it
the chat.
also for your friend code it added the display QR, so they can basically become your friends much easier with the phone app. There's also an alarm notification system where you can set your switch to, you can check or delete pre alarm sets. You can have your switch wake you up. I mean, don't use any more of my battery life. You can add an option to turn on and off the input button. Oh yeah, so if ooh see, okay, they're gonna come out with an art game because why would I need to turn off the input button? Who's putting a switch? Oh, okay, it's for the Switch Lite only. Okay, to turn off the input
Mhm.
button on the Switch Lite. Um, Also, yeah, so no one accidentally touches any buttons. Friend invites and then general improvements, enhancement of the Switch itself. So those are some of the updates, and that brings us to the end of another amazing Switch Nintendo weekly roundup from you, the host Takun. So everybody, hit the like button. Anything you want to add that we may have forgotten? We're still hoping for Capcom to come out with us a Monster Hunter. They were teasing something for the Switch, and they haven't said anything yet.
Oh yeah, that's it's impossible for it not to be in the works. We've went over this so many times. The home country, Japan, Switch is taken over. It's already taken over Japan.
Keep
So
going.
for
I gotta step away
Capcom
for a
to
sec.
not have a new Monster Hunter on it, it just be easy money they're losing out on.
Keep it going. I gotta step away for a sec.
Oh yeah. So this has been a Nintendo Weekly Roundup, and I think we covered about everything there was since the last roundup. If anything else happens, we'll address it here on the channel within a reasonable amount of time. We know Tokyo Game Show is still going on, so if there's anything heavy coming out here within the next day or two, we'll probably cover it immediately since it's the weekend. We got the time to do all that, and yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be good stuff. Make sure you guys leave comments down below. Let us know if you like what Nintendo's doing. If you don't like it, if you got ideas for anything Nintendo's doing, or if you just want to leave us some ideas in the comment section for what content you would like to see on the channel, let us know. We'd love
Also,
to put out the content that you'd love to see.
if there's too much what is it, like too long, like streams, I know sometimes people listen to streams in the car, sometimes people watch, that's why I like to put up gameplay. For more shorter quick videos on like information instead of these long live streams, let us know, because a lot of times you guys comment during the live and but you don't comment in the actual video comment section after the live is up. So let me know. And
Bro,
also, if you want us to, even though this is a Nintendo channel, to actually have different gameplay as well as different, slightly different topics of like what's going on in the gaming world, um, or you would like for it to just strictly stay Nintendo, you let us know. This is a new channel and we're growing, so let us know. By the way, this is
yeah,
gonna be on
this.
my channel, my Sony channel tomorrow. There you go, Borderlands 3, baby, pick that up.
Oh yeah, all that. I just want to say this still frame you have of the video. This chick is buff as hell. Look at her.
Look at her arms,
Toned.
right?
Yeah, no, her legs too. Look at it.
Calves and all, just thick.
Yo, if this, I want this game to take off. I want to see this chick make it to Smash
Dude,
Bros. And fight the Wii Fit
look at her
trainer. That'd be
forearms,
hilarious.
bro.
Bro, she putting me to shame over here.
Oh man. And there's even a level up system. Yeah, this is gonna be a success. Congrats, Nintendo. You doing some crazy stuff, doing some strides. Um, like you were saying with the heart rate sensor, I wonder if this game was already in the works and they were waiting for a larger fan base because this just proves one thing that there's so much people that like this. It's not the Switch is not for one type of gamer like how the
No,
Xbox
they
is
thought
for
of
one
a
type of
lot.
gamer. Like the PS4 has different demographics, but it's for the hardcore gamer. This is hardcore, casual, random, maybe
Handheld.
handheld. And with this out, no one can call this a handheld system anymore.
I mean, pretty much. It's amazing to see the thought that went into the hardware development here. The fact that that infrared sensor picks up a heart rate, that means they had this planned out. There's no way they had that feature and there was like, yeah, let's just randomly have it pick up on people's heart rates. Maybe we'll use it later. No, no, no. They were definitely planning on using it for sure.
Yep. Well, all right, people. Nintendo, keep up the good work, but pick it up. Pick up the slack. Pick up the slack.
There's areas where they're killing it. There's areas they're just ignoring. So
You're making money off of me. I got one of these. I got the red
bro,
boxes.
they
You're
they
making money off of
made
me.
a lot
Make
of money off you.
make a Switch Pro and I'll you know what? If they make a Switch Pro and it has the same battery life as the original Switch, I'll be perfectly fine with that. I'll be perfectly fine with that. Give me more power for
Maybe
less
that's the
little bit of
biggest thing
battery.
holding them back from a Switch Pro.
Nothing.
I said maybe that's the biggest. Maybe the biggest thing is just like, yeah, we kind of like battery life.
I mean, if I'm telling you right now, if the Razor comes out and it does the same battery life as this, there's a problem. They got to pick it
Oh,
up.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Well, everyone, like, subscribe, comment. This is Final Dash Podcast Channel, and I'm your host, Dark Cloud 19, Dark Cloud Sun. And then you've got, yeah, it's a habit. And then you've got Takun. Say peace out to the peeps.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. And like Claude said, leave anything in the comment section, related to video topics you want to see. Um, we're here for y'all. So, I mean, if you give us stuff that you want us to cover, gameplay you want to see, any topics you want us to discuss, we're all for it. And we specifically named this Final Dash podcast, so we didn't have to be limited to strictly Nintendo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, any idea you throw out there, gaming related, we'll definitely consider.
Yep. All right, people. Peace.